Shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Bahasham Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere camp. And once again, going into another video, basically what we're going to be, from the title you have already seen, I'm going to talk about a consuming fire. Okay, as the scriptures say, that the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh is a consuming fire. Okay, and the major consuming fire on the earth, especially with regards to prophecy, are the missiles, okay? The nuclear missiles that will be shot upon Babylon the Great, okay, and other parts of the world, and the missiles from the chariots as well in the coming days of World War III. Okay, so let me get this precept. Let me begin. Okay, let's start with this one, to just bring us to familiarity with what we are talking about. So this is the book of Isaiah 66 verse 15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. And that's right, because the Most High is coming back to bring judgment upon the earth, and the judgment will come by the way of, fire, okay, the way of the nuclear fire, from both the nuclear missiles and the chariots, okay. And the people of the world, you people out here, especially, you Waki-Taki Christians, you Israelites, you two-thirds, you believe that if the Lord, our Lord Yahushua, which the world, of course, ignorantly and willfully calls Jesus Christ, if he returns, he's coming back, or, in all peace and harmony, okay, he's coming back, all benevolent, believing that his coming back will be, you know, don't really know how to properly say it, but that he's coming back, okay, will be in some form of, bring peace upon the earth without any violence, okay, because you still are under the deception of the Christian church in not understanding prophecy, or who the Most High Yahweh Shami Awashai is, or how he was slated, or how he said that he would come back, okay. The scriptures say that he would come back, and he would, let me see if I can get that precept, okay. He would not meet you as a man, okay, let's get that. So this is the book of Isaiah 47, and I'll start from verse 1. Isaiah 47 verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. And this is, of course, a prophecy against Babylon the Great, which is America. Okay, so continue on from verse 2. Take the millstone and grind mill. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Uncovering Babylon the Great, okay, because the US, the Esau's kingdom, mainly concerning the US, has been exposed. All the lies, all the deceptions that have been set up with the United States of America as its focal point, okay. When people used to believe that America was the land of the free and the home of the brave, they fought for freedom, justice, and quote unquote the American way all over the earth. That people believed that Babylon the Great was the golden city, a land of opportunity where you could go to and find, freedom, okay, find opportunity. But now it's all being exposed. The deceptions are all being exposed. It's now being revealed that Esau Edom is just another giant degenerate that is spreading evil, okay, and confusion upon the whole earth, through their doctrines and their philosophies. And now that they have been exposed, okay, the first step was exposure. Now the second step is their slow, not slow slacker, but the swift destruction, okay. Isaiah 47 verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, and thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. And now you know who is telling, or who is speaking to Babylon the Great, okay, the entire kingdom, as a warning, You know, this is what prophecy is. Speak down into the ears of these people. And this is the prophecy which the Most High has delivered and given to you Babylonians, okay, and to Babylon and to the nation of Babylon the Great as a whole, okay, because Babylon, even more so, it is a place as well. Yes, America, the US, but it is also a people, okay, the Babylonians, the modern day Babylonians, which are those that have accepted and followed the doctrine of Esau, Edom, because America, Babylon isn't the only place that is going to receive the nuclear fire. It isn't the only place that is going to be burned with fire, and it also isn't the only stronghold of Esau Edom that is being exposed. Okay, you have other, you have other places, okay, like for case in point, the Catholic Church with the Vatican, all their evils are being exposed and they are being shown to be even bigger. They are being shown to be the devils. They are being uncovered. Okay, as the scriptures say, you know, no, with the circle, I say going into something else, that will, just going into something else, but they are being exposed right now. They are being revealed who they are, okay, and the judgment has been set up for this kingdom. The judgment has been ordained, okay, declared that you will suffer the wrath of the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Feel the fire, okay, and that fire being once again the nuclear destruction. And it is a beautiful judgment, okay. And before I want to go to get that, let me get this in Isaiah 13, okay. And it's of course, you have people that will say, how the hell is, how the hell are nuclear missiles mentioned in the scriptures? But of course they are, okay. You have different precepts, different passages that have identified and described the nuclear destruction of Babylon the Great and the nuclear missiles, being launched upon, different places in the earth during World War III. Okay, so now let me start from Isaiah 13, verse 1, and of course, this is also going into a nuclear missile as well. So now Isaiah 13 verse 1, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. So once again, another prophecy against Babylon the Great. Isaiah 13 verse 2, lift up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones, I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustered the host of the battle. And of course, this is showing you that, you know, in the midst of World War III, the Most High is the one that is gathering those soldiers for World War III. However, Hashem Yahushai was the one is in control of all the affairs of men and everything that happens on the earth. So the reason why there was a World War II, the reason why you had all those events going on in World War II was because of the Most High. He mustereth the host of the battle. He gathered those nations together: Germany, Poland, Britain, Italy, okay, Babylon the Great, Russia, Canada, gathered all those nations together and caused them to fight against each other. See how about Shami Oshai set that up, and if you go into the scriptures, you know that both World War One and World War Two were predicted in the book of Revelations, okay, in order for his prophecy to come to pass. So the Most High once again will gather the armies together one last time, okay, for World War III. And that is going to be the final world war that will happen on the earth. And as the scriptures say, let me get that. The third woe cometh quickly, okay. So continuing on. Isaiah 13 verse 5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. How ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. And you can see right here that the day of Yahweh, as the scriptures say, woe unto you that seek the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? It is even darkness and not light, and great darkness, and there is no light in it. Because the day of the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahweh is a day of destruction, a day of wasting, and a day of great death, okay, for all the people of this world. A terrifying day to be sure, even for those that are elect of the elect, because even the scriptures tell you that, the elect that are delivered and watching the destruction, great fear will fall upon them as well, and they will exalt the name and the power of Yahweh Basham Yahweh. Okay, but now even more so back to this precept that we are reading. Of course, now it's going into the nuclear missiles that once the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahweh gathers the nations together for World War III, that's when you start seeing missiles being shot from one part of the end, from one end of the earth to the other. Okay, and of course, through prophecy, and we will get that, of course. The scriptures say they shall hit the whore and burn her with fire, which is of course going into the nuclear destruction once again of Babylon the Great. Okay, because they talk about a whore. Okay, especially according to Bible prophecy. Okay, so this is the book of Revelation 17, and I will start from Revelation 17. I'll just get the point. Revelation 17 verse 16, and it reads, and the 10 horns which thou sawest, okay, upon the beast. Let me start from the top. I don't want to, but let me start from the top. Okay, Revelation 17 verse 9, and here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, and there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And this is, of course, going into the final beast that will rule upon the earth, or the final kingdom that will rule upon the earth, the red dragon. That's 7 heads and 10 horns, if I remember correctly. Okay, and the horn that is ruling is the Roman Empire, and the horn that is about to rule is, of course, Great Britain. Okay, so that's I think actually this is a little difficult to explain right now. Okay, but I just want to get the main point, which is going into the destruction of Babylon the Great. Okay, because this Revelation 17 is actually breaking out the scripture, speaking of Babylon the Great and the 10 beasts, and the not the 10 beasts, but the red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, and let's just start from the top, just a little bit, just to make sure that the um you get the understanding of what is actually going on here, or what's actually being written. Okay, Revelation 17 verse 1, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying, come unto me, come hither, and I will shew thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornications, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. And this is, of course, speaking of, once again, the great whore is Babylon the Great. And of course, you'll see that when we read on down. So he carried me away in the spirits into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And that's right, because Babylon the Great as a kingdom is, the kingdom of the north. It's a far-off kingdom. Okay, you have to be carried all, farther from all other nations. Okay, basically, because it's in a completely different region, completely different part of the world. Okay, but continuing on, Revelation 17 verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her head was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And that is basically going into what we're talking about, Babylon the Great. And that's why we call America, the US, Babylon the Great, okay? And if you go into the Hebrew, the word Babylon goes back to the Hebrew word Babel, which means confusion. And America right now, the US, is pushing great confusion and great evil upon the earth, okay? Because the main confusion they are pushing is basically what they call it subversion, okay? Subversion, and let's get that. Let's see if I can get that. Subversion, okay, let's get that. Subversion definition. Don't want to make this video too long, but we go as the spirit leads. Okay, so yeah, subversion. All right, let's get the definition. So this is the word subversion. Let me bring it out. Subversion is the act of subverting the state of being subverted, especially a systematic attempt to overthrow or undermine. Cause over. This is not what I'm looking for. Let me find another definition. Okay, so this is let me just manage and use this one. So subversion, the act or an instance of subverting or overthrow a legally constituted government institution, etc. Well, what I should do just get the word subvert, okay? Because like these online dictionaries are funny. Anyway, let's get this. Here it is. Subvert, to overthrow or destroy a government or an established order or authority, to undermine, overturn, or render ineffective a rule or an established notion, such as a stereotype, for example, to cause to serve a purpose other than original or established one, commandeer or redirect. And this is exactly what Esau Edom has done. Basically, he has flipped the moral code, okay, the natural law over on its head. Woe unto him that call evil good and call good evil. I think that's how it goes. Let's get that precept. That is exactly what Esau Edom has done. And that is the sin of Babylon the Great, okay? Because he has taken the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Basham Yahushai and completely turned it upside down and made it so that, everything that goes against the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of Yahweh Basham Yahushai is honored, is exalted, is celebrated in this kingdom, while the righteous order is being shunned. Okay. Isaiah 5 verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And this is, of course, going into Esau, Edom, and subversion of the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Shai. Okay. Now, going back to it, the nuclear destruction of Babylon the Great. Okay. And let's get back to that. That's back to that Revelation 17. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So we'll jump down a little bit, okay. So now Revelation 17, and I'll start from verse 11. Revelation 17 verse 10, so like, yeah. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. So you've already explained what that one is, okay. The 5 kings, the one king that is going into the Roman Empire, and the king that has not yet come is the Great Britain, Great Britain, okay. So continuing on, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. And this is, of course, speaking of Babylon the Great, okay, because Babylon the Great, is also even though he is a part of this beast system, even though Babylon the Great, I mean the US is a part of the beast system, even though they are part of the rulership of the Red Dragon, they are also separate from it, because it's its own entire entity that the Most High dedicated to destruction. And that's why in Isaiah's prophecy. He saw Babylon as a, comely, beautiful woman sitting upon the dragon. Okay, so continuing on. Now, Revelation 17, verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called chosen and faithful. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For the Most High Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the word of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And that's right. And basically what this is going into is that all the nations on the earth, all the nations of the world, are under the beast system right now, under the rulership of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, by the way of the elites, these international banking families. Okay, and that's why you see the Great Reset and the NWO being such, going out on a global scale, because all the nations have conformed to it. They have conformed to the rule of Esau, Edom, and pretty soon, man, okay, you will begin to see the fruits of Esau's kingdom. Okay, the Great Reset starting to get set up, starting with the charagma being implemented upon all of you people that are in this world, all the people of the world. Okay, so now, we go down a little bit into Second Peter, the third. I've already even spoiled it anyway, but let's get that Second Peter, the third chapter, and of course we are going to read this right here. Okay. So this is the book of 2 Peter 3, verse 10. But the day of Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in the way which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So yeah, the earth is going to be destroyed basically. This current kingdom, this current earth age, the word meaning eon, okay, eon, like the scripture said, the heavens and the earth. Okay, in other words, this current kingdom, the heavens being the rulership, and the earth being the people. Okay, all the people that are in under the heaven, basically. So under all the people that are under that rulership, under the rulership of Babylon the Great, of the beast system, they shall all be destroyed. And seeing that all these things are about to come to pass, okay, the point basically is that is, where are you at? What is going to happen? What manner of person are you going to be? Are you going to repent and seek salvation, seek the deliverance of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai? Or will you continue in this kingdom because you lack faith and you don't believe in these words coming to pass? Okay. So now, Second Peter 3, verse 12. Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Okay, and this heat, of course, can only be from the nuclear destruction of this kingdom. Okay, basically, let's just leave it at that. Let's just see it as like that, the nuclear destruction of this kingdom, because you go into the nuclear technology and how hot a nuclear missile burns, basically a couple times, brighter and hotter than the sun. So I cannot brighter, a couple times hotter than the sun, you know showing you that these missiles were created for a day and a moment. Okay, and that moment being, when the Most High sets them up and sends them all over the earth. Okay, they sends them to Babylon the Great to destroy, and to destroy Babylon the Great. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm just going to end it right there. So with that, once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Racha Kwadash. Wa Abad Babal Shalom.